I've always been a writing first thinker, but at some point my notebook stopped creating clarity and it started creating clutter. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. My brain had quietly become the bottleneck. Here's the idea that changed everything. Your brain is a compass, not a hard drive. The moment I stopped using it for storage and started using AI as a second brain, the work didn't disappear, but the cognitive load did. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the 3 ways that I use AI to go and re-harness that lost energy and get off the hamster wheel and start getting real leverage in my life and in my business, not more busy work. Let's get into it. Section 1, memory offload. Mental clutter comes from trying to remember everything. Here's why. Most people don't realize this invisible cost. You're spending energy retrieving information instead of actually creating something new. And inevitably, that's where your real genius is as a founder. It's that stuff that only you can do. Inevitably, I try to tell myself these days, if AI can do it, let it do that stuff so that I can just focus my mental energy on the uniqueness that I have. Things like creating new offers or coming up with innovative pieces of content, filming videos like this, or writing my book right now. These are things that I can do. I built a system where nothing important lives in my head anymore. It starts with something I do once a month. Once a month, I sit down and have what I call a personal board meeting. This is really this opportunity for me to go and analyze, what are my 10-year goals? What are my 3-year goals? My 1-year goals? And then what do I need to get done in the next 90 days to ladder up to this big, ambitious vision that I have? From there, at the end of every month, I also have a reflection period where I look at what went well, what didn't go well, and what did I learn so I can really go and improve the next month. I'm also doing the same on my desktop where I have this all organized in a Google Slides. I can simply go and download the PDF slide deck and then insert it into the given AI I'm using, right? Which in most cases is ChatGPT and into my 10x profit project. All right, so let me give you a bit of behind the scenes at how I personalize AI inside of this 10x profit project, okay? So first off, 38 files in this at any given time. I think the limit in GPT is about 40 right now. So, I'm maximizing this as much as I can, okay? So it's got things like all of our offers. It's got even our financial model in here, which I get from my CFO every single month. I've got things like, transcripts from my customer. I've got my board meeting in here, and I've got our org chart in here as well. So, and then you can also see that I've got extremely detailed instructions in here. This is where most people fail. Too skinny, the prompts, right? And what we want to have here is fat prompts. And so you can see here, I have clear goals to get the business to $2 million profit per month. I want you to advise me like Larry Ellison, Elon Musk, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, and Jeff Bezos, right? And then I go through our objectives. I go through the constraints that we currently have, and that I want it to give me core systems and then action those systems for me. Now, the beautiful thing is that we can go and ask this project, right? So you've been going and following my progress with Founder OS over the last year. I want you to be brutally honest with me around what you see as the core strengths of what we're building and my strengths as a leader, and then also where we're falling short as a business and where I'm falling short as a leader. And then I want you to go and point out specific improvements I can make, focusing on 3 core things. The beautiful thing is I can be using this on a weekly basis in ways like this to go and level up as a leader. And oftentimes, I find it's going to be 10 times more honest than any executive coach I could have. Here you can see the core strengths. It's saying that FounderOS has a real point of view, right? Which is awesome because that's what we teach founders to build with their brands. Product depth is legitimately unfair, right? The 180 systems, the C-suite access, live cadence, AI tools. So yeah, we put a hell of a lot of work into the product. So that makes sense. The brand has emotional gravity. Yeah, I think it's based on our whole story, the infrastructure, and then strengths as a leader, okay? No false modesty here. You have an elite pattern recognition. You can name the problem better than the customer. Founder-led chaos, architect versus engine. Here's where I think it's most valuable, right? Is like really seeing the 3 core improvements and just cutting through the noise, which is what I think this project's best for. Building a how Matt would decide operating system. Okay, that's cool because it basically is trying to teach me to get the business from where it's at now to $2 million profit per month in the next 6 months. And so what it's trying to just make sure is that the final bits of our operating system that may be dependent on me are now independent of me and my team is trained. It wants me to ruthlessly compress the business to 3 growth levers, really making sure that we're focused as an example on one primary audience growth engine, one core ascension path, and one flagship experience. Okay, good reflection. And then really continuing to define my role as a system architect, which good news is we're already all over that. The big theme this year that I've been training my team on is moving me into this architect role, focusing on really just exceptional content all the time. Things like YouTube videos and writing books, and removing myself from the final little bits of operations. And so this project is super powerful, and I can't wait to see what you create with your own version of it. I don't have to reconstruct my thinking, right? I just ask ChatGPT, what was it that we were focused on in Q2? What goals did I set that I'm not hitting right now, right? What's the pattern that you're seeing from me over the last 6 months, right? If you were to be brutally honest with me, where do we need to improve? The AI will respond instantly, and it's brutally honest. It's going to give a great analysis on where we've been, have we hit those goals, and what are the core patterns that keep coming up month after month after month. So I built a free assessment that shows you exactly where you're leaving AI leverage on the table. And this is important, right? Because I think to really get ahead as a founder this year, you need to be using AI correctly and in the most leveraged way possible, okay? And so you can go and check out that assessment in the description and learn where you may have some gaps in how you're currently using it so you can go and become more of a systemized founder this year. That's just one part of the equation. The next aspect is really going to go and compress time in your business. Section 2, decision compression. Great lives aren't built on more decisions, right? They're built on making fewer decisions better. There's this motto that I remind myself of every single day. Less, but better. Less things around me, making less decisions, but the ones that I am making, putting all of my judgment, data, and intuition in those to move things forward in my business and my life as fast as possible. Here's how I go and cut my decision load by 90%. First off, we have to come to grips with something, right? Decision fatigue is one of the largest productivity killers in your life. And decision fatigue really comes when you're just making way too many decisions. Small decisions, big decisions, decisions from this person on your team, then from that person. By the end of the day, you're just fucking exhausted. But here's the thing, most decisions don't deserve your raw thinking, but we treat them all like we need to do them all. And what happens is that you just see founders drowning in these decisions. Hire this person or that person, launch this offer or wait, take this meeting or protect your time, right? It just never stops. And the cost is just mental exhaustion. If we can go and get in a habit of just reserving our cognitive load, right, for the decisions that most need us, this is what's going to help you not just grow fastest, but honestly just grow in a peaceful way. Because if you're anything like me, right, we know that we're going to be successful long-term, likely already are really successful already. It's not just about making a bunch of money, being more successful this year. Honestly, it's just about peace of mind, knowing that, you can focus on the stuff that you really enjoy. You can be in flow as much as possible in your day, enjoying your life, enjoying the process of creating an amazing business that's impacting millions of lives. This is probably one of the most beautiful and powerful use cases for, things like ChatGPT. Here's what I've realized, okay? You don't need better decisions. You typically need fewer decisions. So I built an AI decision filter trained on my principles, my context, and my life. It's not a calculator. It's not a strategy bot. It's a decision filter trained on my principles, my history, and the mentors I've learned from. We're talking like the best founders of all time. So this isn't some generic AI advice, right? It's my thinking externalized. And I use it to filter decisions across marketing, hiring, operations, and finance. All right, so what I'm going to go and show you here is the difference between using my 10x profit project that's loaded up with my project files, my prompt, and all my memory versus just generic GPT for a common question I may wonder in a day, which is my team wants me more available for ad hoc questions throughout the day, but my most productive time is 3 hours of uninterrupted deep work in the morning for content creation. How should I balance being accessible versus protecting my flow time? Here we go. The side-by-side comparison here just to show, and let's see what happens here. So normal GPT, right? Quicker to the punch, right? Is saying, reframe the trade-off. It's an important mindset shift, time box your availability, a strong default schedule, setting a clear interrupt rule. Example, I'm heads down in the mornings, but if something is truly urgent, please Slack me urgent at the start. Kind of lame. Use async to absorb ad hoc questions instead of live interruptions, encourage questions to be posted in a shared channel. So again, this is all just kind of generic advice, honestly, not the kind of stuff that I would action. It's just very basic. On the other side here, we have the 10x profit project, which is saying this is a classic founder constraint and your right to protect it deliberately. The real problem, the team wanting more ad hoc access isn't the issue. The issue is that your availability has become the system. That creates two bad outcomes at once. Your highest leverage work gets fragmented and your team never fully upgrades their decision-making muscle. So here's what you should do as a non-negotiable. Morning equals creation, afternoon is collaboration, right? So getting much more specific, okay? The solution, predictable access is greater than constant access, right? So lock the deep work block, right? Example, 8 to 11 a.m. Create a decision intake system, right? So most ad hoc questions should come into predictable buckets, and I can standardize how those are asked in all of your filters, okay? So where I generally get interested here, right, is when you kind of just use generic GPT, it kind of just ends and that's that. Whereas these ones, right, you can be like, just, go and do this for me inside of the 10x profit project, and it will just go and start standardizing that MAT doctrine documentation and all of the different operating rules that need to exist. And it's even creating the Slack announcement that I can then go and use and send to my team in Slack so that I can just get this going right here, right now. So it's going and giving me a message that I can send to my team in a channel. You can see, right? It's just making your ability to go and implement this stuff 10 times faster. I don't even really need to decide anymore. It kind of just does it all for me. All right, so you see the difference here? This one is trained on the internet. The other one is trained on me. It has an insane amount of context, memory, and history with me to know what the best version of me would do in this situation versus just some generic advice. If you're making the right calls, but they're not turning into repeatable systems, well, you're not creating leverage, you're just creating more work for yourself. And that's what we're trying to tackle here. You've got enough on your plate, right? I think that being a founder, being a builder is one of the hardest jobs in the world. You have pressure sometimes coming you from multiple directions, right? You got a team and lights you got to keep on every month. And you've got this big, hairy, audacious vision that you have for your life and your business, a whole crew of people in terms of your team, a community and customers that you're all trying to go and rally in that direction. Truthfully, I think you can use all the help you can get. And that's what we're tackling next. If you're wondering where you can actually go and get help like this, right, and go and implement this stuff right now, well, I'd recommend going and checking out the 10-minute AI readiness assessment via the link in the description below. You can go and simply go through this, score yourself across memory, decisions, and systems. And what we typically see is most founders score around 37% capacity. And so they're leaving, honestly, a lot of juice on the table there. So go and download that, score yourself, and book a call if you want to learn more about the systems that we use inside of FounderOS to install this AI leverage directly with you inside of your business. So now let me go and show you the third AI lever. This is where it all compounds. Section 3, Systemization. Here's how I used AI to turn everything that lived in my head into repeatable, scalable infrastructure. This is the real magic. So what we're always looking for are those things that we find we're repeatedly doing and trying to go and systemize that stuff, document it, and then upload it to AI so that it can start doing that stuff as good, if not better than us, okay? About a year ago, I realized something that was pretty terrifying. There were parts of my business that only existed in my head, and that's not good because then it just means that it relies on me going forward. I'm getting hit with the same thing over and over when someone else or AI could do it as good, if not better than I can. What I started doing is this, right? Every time I explained something more than twice, I recorded a loom of me actually doing the process. Every time I did something more than 3 times in 1 week, I created a Claude project for that exact task. And so what we'll see here is I'm going to break down each of these AI systems in just a second. But here's what happened. Slowly, the things that lived in my head started living in the systems. And the crazy yet beautiful part here is my business didn't just scale, it got beautiful and easy to run. Here's something insane that just became possible. I used Loom to then go and record the walkthroughs for my team and then spend around 30 minutes going and writing it up in an SOP separately, but not anymore. This is probably the coolest AI feature I've seen in the last year. You can use Loom AI to now go and take a video run through that you use to go and walk your team through a given task. It's going to transcribe it and then generate a full Google Doc SOP with timestamps, step-by-step instructions, and section headers for you. This is a work of art and a complete game changer. So you can go task by task and process everything in your business. When you do this, right, we're talking about building repeatable tasks and building systems, right? So that everything ends up, being done by your team and leverage with AI versus being on your to-do list 3 times a week. That's a beautiful thing, right? Less work on you, more work being done by your team, more time for you to focus on the stuff that you're really great at. So here's what I've built: YouTube script writing, lead magnets, brand voice, email courses, Instagram carousels, X content, market research. And why all separate projects? Well, because each different task has its own specificity. I'm not just starting from scratch every time, which is what you want to avoid. Now you're building on top of infrastructure that's already existed and trained. But here's the thing: everything I've shown you so far, whether it's memory, decisions, and systems, all are leverage, right? But the biggest unlock, it wasn't about efficiency, it was about clarity. And that's what we build inside of Founder OS. Businesses that scale without burning you out. Being able to actually have a business that runs peacefully. Systems that create margin, not complexity. Because if you're doing $50K per month, you're probably ready to go and get help building this, right? So that your business is AI ready. And if you want to get a better look at how I use AI, well, go and check out this video where I show you how to use AI better than 99% of people. Go check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and let's win together.